There is the story the public sees, and then there is the story hidden beneath the surface. One shows composure, poise, and strength. The other reveals heartbreak, fear, and relentless uncertainty. Millions have watched Savannah Guthrie address the cameras with the calm, measured professionalism expected of her, admiring her resilience during a crisis few could endure. But the true weight of the situation runs far deeper than the public view. Beneath the composed exterior lies a complex, layered tragedy, affecting a daughter whose mother has been taken, whose world has been upended in ways the audience cannot fully see. The life she built. At 54, Savannah Guthrie had achieved what most spend a lifetime striving for. Her career in broadcast journalism was renowned, her presence commanding yet relatable. She had navigated high-pressure environments, balancing professional excellence with raising two young children. Years of sacrifice and dedication had led to a life of accomplishment, recognition, and influence. February 1st, 2026, shattered all of that. Overnight, the foundation she had built was destabilized. Her mother, Nancy, had been taken from her home, leaving Savannah grappling with the reality that nothing she had achieved could shield her from unimaginable personal loss. The physical crisis. The first layer of tragedy is immediate and visible. Nancy Guthrie, 84, relies on daily heart medication to survive. Every hour she is missing increases the physical danger she faces. Her absence is not simply an emotional or logistical problem. It is a life-threatening situation. Savannah understood this from the first moment she learned of the kidnapping. She watched, aware that her mother's survival depended on timely medical care she could not provide. The constant knowledge of Nancy's fragility adds a relentless pressure, a ticking clock that cannot be paused, intensifying the public and private anguish that Savannah must navigate simultaneously. The burden of public performance. The public sees composure, but this is no ordinary strength. Savannah has had to split her life into two parallel tracks, one for the cameras and one for herself. Publicly, she must appear composed, functional, and articulate, protecting the integrity of the investigation while reassuring millions. Privately, she is a terrified daughter, uncertain of her mother's fate. Most would collapse under such circumstances. The necessity of performing for the public eye, while carrying unimaginable personal fear, transforms her strength into a heavy, isolating burden. Each word, each gesture is calibrated, leaving little room for private grief or unguarded emotion. A lifetime of conditioning. Savannah's ability to endure is not a simple gift of resilience. She was conditioned from an early age to meet pressure with performance. Nancy Guthrie instilled in her daughter the belief that vulnerability is dangerous and strength is expected. Pain and fear were to be managed internally, expressed only through controlled action. This upbringing equipped Savannah to survive crises like this, but it also created a subtle, ongoing tragedy. Her composure is not optional. It is a survival mechanism. In her mother's absence, the training that once protected her now traps her in relentless self-management, leaving little space for natural human fragility. The hidden emotional tragedy beyond the physical danger and public performance lies a quieter, more profound layer. Savannah's life has been shaped by a continuous, often unspoken question: am I enough? Achievements, public admiration, and professional acclaim cannot answer it. The approval that mattered most, her mother's unconditional love, was communicated through expectations and lessons about strength, not reassurance. The kidnapping has intensified this internal struggle, highlighting the absence of the one person whose affirmation could silence a lifetime of doubt. The deepest tragedy is not visible on television screens, yet it is the one that weighs heaviest on her heart: love and its complexities. Nancy Guthrie's love was fierce, formative, and enduring. It shaped Savannah into a capable, extraordinary woman. Yet that love was expressed through standards, expectations, and a philosophy that equated survival with performance. This mode of affection left an unfilled space, the desire to hear unconditional validation, simple acknowledgement, and reassurance that she is enough just as she is. Now, in this crisis, the absence of that expression is palpable. It is a subtle heartbreak, not captured in headlines, but persistent, omnipresent, and intimately tied to Savannah's identity and self-worth. The weight of the parallel worlds. Savannah's crisis exists on two levels at once, the observable and the unseen. Publicly, she answers questions, thanks the audience, and communicates with precision. Privately, she confronts fear for her mother's life, the stress of an unresolved kidnapping, and a deep personal yearning for affirmation. These worlds cannot intersect without breaking her composure, leaving Savannah in a constant state of emotional compartmentalization. The psychological strain of performing while fearing for a loved one's life is almost unimaginable. A quiet endurance that earns no awards, garners no public recognition, and yet defines the core of her lived experience during this tragedy. The lessons of a lifetime. This tragedy is magnified by the lessons Savannah received as a child. She learned that strength was non-negotiable and vulnerability a liability. Now, those lessons demand perfection even in the worst circumstances. Savannah's ability to manage every detail of this crisis without faltering is a testament to her upbringing, but it also underlines the silent cost of that conditioning. Her remarkable composure is inseparable from years of internalized discipline, highlighting a paradox. Her survival strategies are also the source of her deepest emotional isolation. A daughter's unanswered question. The greatest tragedy is not the danger to Nancy's life, nor the media spotlight, nor even the stress of the FBI investigation. It is the absence of a simple human acknowledgement. You are enough. Savannah has spent 54 years searching for that affirmation from the one person whose voice matters most. Every success, every measured response, every public act of professionalism is an attempt to meet the standards set by a mother whose love was real but expressed through expectation. The question remains unanswered, and the absence of that reassurance now intensifies the emotional stakes of a crisis already beyond comprehension. The gift that can heal. When Nancy Guthrie returns safely, the most profound act she can offer is not another lesson in resilience or a reminder to be strong. The gift is simple. 3 words that require no performance, no calculation, no endurance. I love you. Not for accomplishments, not for composure, not for surviving impossible circumstances, just unconditional affirmation. Those words, finely spoken, would speak to a lifetime of longing, reassure a woman who has given everything, and quietly heal the deepest wound of all, the unacknowledged need to hear, unequivocally, "You are enough," a call for hope. This story is more than a crime or a national spectacle. It is a deeply human tragedy layered across decades of love, expectation, and emotional conditioning. Savannah Guthrie's struggle is both public and private, immediate and timeless. Beyond headlines and videos, she endures the dual burden of fearing for her mother's life while navigating her own lifelong search for affirmation. The hope, the ultimate resolution, lies not just in Nancy's safe return, but in a moment of simple, unambiguous love that allows Savannah to finally feel enough, exactly as she is, celebrated, admired, and humanly complete.